Hey there, it's Jimmy again, and we're in the junkyard on this beautiful Saturday morning here in the Rocky Mountain area, specifically Denver. You can kind of see the mountains in the background. But before we start, if you liked what you've been seeing, please do hit subscribe and like. If you want to leave comments, please do so, and we will try to answer them, or somebody else will. Today we have something very interesting that I've not run across in a junkyard in quite some time. This is a 1992 Mazda 929. Mazda's flagship, sold in the US between 92 and 96, and pretty much the last of the line as far as these large cars go. This thing is actually rear wheel drive, so it's super interesting from that perspective, if nothing else. The 929 obviously had its roots in the, well, in Japan, the Luce, in the early 70s. There were multiple generations. We in the US or North America got the generation before this also, which was kind of pretty squarish looking actually, but this one is super oh, excuse the airplane. We're near a Air Force base, so that's what that's all about. They're just doing training. So like I said, we got the squarish previous generation 929 as well, which was pretty boring looking. This one is certainly more, I guess sexy is the word, right? Very smooth, very contoured, very much in line with what Mazda was doing at the time. And unfortunately didn't really sell very well, which is too bad. Mazda at this time was going to develop its own kind of faux Lexus Infinity Acura type line, to be called the Amati line here in the US. And that never panned out, but this most likely would have been sold as one of them. In Japan, they did have a couple of other sales channels, and that was definitely sold that way over there. But what's really cool about this one, well, not really cool, but one interesting factoid is that you may remember Mazda didn't used to have a front badge or a badge. Then they came up with one, but this is what they came up with for 92. But by 93, that was gone. And they had a much smoother one, less squarish, much more, a little more organic looking in there. So that one, that's kind of interesting. That's 1 year only on that. But let's take a look at this one. It's finished in a pretty awesome kind of blue-green tealish color, very 90s. But wow, this thing's 92, huh? So yeah, so this is what, 31 years old. Love it. And this was apparently to be sold at a dealer, and then ended up here in the junkyard. Who knows why? It's absolutely filthy inside, so it's not really like it was on the lot for very long. But let's see. So we've got the 929 logo back here, very small. Obviously the same little squarish Mazda logo. Small Mazda badge, very understated, kind of like that. It's very swoopy, integrated bumpers and everything, of course, by 92. What's really cool is check out the glass. This is frameless. So frameless windows. But you did have a pillar, so it's kind of a faux, fake, well, I guess it's a pillar. Is it a pillar hard top? Which is kind of a weird term, but there's no frames on the glass, so pretty interesting there. Wheels are cool. These are just 15s, but they're laced cross spokes, again with the Mazda logo. Very nice. Let's take a look. Let's start at the trunk this time. So obviously fuel fillers here. Trunk, you've got nice full width taillights going all the way across. Open the trunk, which has two struts, kind of a premium touch back then. Decent sized trunk. The fuel tank in this one is actually right above the rear axle for good weight distribution. And this is kind of interesting. Above the fuel tank is this cubby hole. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what was in there. Was the jack in there? I don't know. It just looks carpeted. I wonder if you can just, I guess you keep your stuff in there. Kind of like that. That's interesting. And then obviously you had a spare tire down here and the usual. Nicely trimmed though. Nice carpeting all the way throughout. Very nice chrome trim there around the license plate. Let's take a look at the engine. In overseas markets, well, especially Japan, this is available with a couple of different engines. Here we only got the 3 liter. So let's open this up. There it is. Double overhead cam, V6 24 valve. This, I believe, generated 197 horsepower, and the engine is behind the front axle. So axle is kind of right in line here. So yeah, the engine's definitely, well, on top of it and behind it, which helps with that weight distribution. So it's kind of a, I guess, a front midship design. Pretty interesting, but kind of helps you get to the front of the engine, doesn't it? As long as you remove all the intake and all that stuff. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Aluminum intake there. This is still super complete. For some reason, this is parked amidst all the domestics, not in the import section. Maybe that's why it's still complete, or the reality is there's really not much demand. This was pretty much replaced, I guess, in the US market by the Millennium, which though was front wheel drive. So let's look at the inside. Let's start here. Look at that, wow. That is spacious in here, isn't it? A lot of room. These seats, actually the driver's seat is not far forward, the passenger seat is all the way forward, but you had quite a lot of room. It's nice leather. It's an interesting color. It's sort of a gray blue aqua color, definitely distinctive. Got your own ashtray back here, power windows, nice seats, leather headrests, armrest, and a nice soft headliner. That's nice. This is very cool though, with the frameless doors like that. Let's take a look in the driver's compartment. Like I said, it's kind of filthy in here, and someone's been out the power window switches. But you had the fuel opener there, trunk openers there, all electric. Chrome in here, lock and unlock. Seats are nice, obviously power adjustable every which way. Full leather. And this is interesting. There's no wood in here. This is more the Infinity style of how they did things. But man, check this out. So this thing only had 85,802 miles on it. That's amazing. It has 6,500 RPM redline. Nice set of gauges. This is nice with a sweeping kind of cluster. And then the radio, or that's HVAC, and the clock is integrated into that same sweep. Interesting vents are kind of up there. Then you had a tape deck, and I assume there's probably an optional CD player or changer available. And then the automatic was here with hold it for the overdrive, I guess. Not bad. And then in here, you just had a button to open the center console, and then, oh, I guess you could lock so somebody can't get in the trunk by hitting the button. Because, oh yeah, that's actually keyed. Interesting. I like that. That's sharp. And this one, so manufactured by Mazda Motor Corporation, January 1992. JVIN, so obviously made in Japan. These were all made in Japan. And yeah, I mean, gosh, you really don't see these very often, do you? You had airbags, driver and passenger, which is, well, it's kind of early for that. And then you have the radio controls here, cruise control buttons over there. Obviously lights. Parking brake release. Oop, I just released it. So yeah, you actually have a pedal like an American car or a Mercedes, I guess. Let's go look at the passenger side and see. Is there a glove box in these? I wonder. I don't know. Let's take a look. No glove box. This is kind of in that in-between era when they were figuring out where to put airbags. They used the space that the glove box would have gone. And then this is just sort of a bolster padded thing. Kind of cool. Oh, that's the passenger vent right there, and I guess the passenger can also get a little bit of air from up there. Looks pretty comfortable though, pretty spacious. No power though from the passenger side. It's all, is it all manual? Oh, it is, huh? Yep, goes all the way back. Very, very cool. Or very interesting that. You would have thought that would be a power seat also, but alas, it is not. And oh, I guess you do have the extra vent here. That's kind of cool. So the vent comes out of the door panel. That's pretty wild. Different, obviously defrosters up there. So trying to think what else can we talk about this. That's about it. It's interesting. This was, I guess, sold at Greeley, Nissan, and Volkswagen. And this is from the auction, Loveland Auto Auction, 9/15/23 with 85,802 miles on it. Kind of a shame it ended up there. Don't know if that damage happened here at the yard or before it went to auction. Who knows? This thing definitely looks like it was driven around though for a while it was for sale, which is pretty odd. But power antenna stopped powering. It's too bad. But yeah, that is the 1992 Mazda 929. Who knows if you'll ever see another one on the road, huh? I'm not holding my breath, that's for sure. But anyway, like I said, please do hit subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications, hit like, and maybe leave a comment or two if you're so inclined. Thank you very much for watching. That was the, well, like I said, 92 Mazda 929. Thank you. Bye-bye.